What's up? And we rise. We come from a bloodline of priests, sold into captivity. Father, break these chains off me. Make me free. In time, ambition. 2024 AD. Live from the belly of the beast. Babylon. Should we stay? Should we flee? In time's ambition.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom, Israel.
All right, all praises, man.
Come on. We in this thing, back in this thing. Shalom. Come on. Today is a special day. You know, we just doing this off the, shooting off the hip, man. We figured we'd do a little bit of a preview on the movie we seen over the past weekend. You know, a lot of Israel's already talking about it, the Book of Clarence. So, you know, we're not going to keep you long, Israel. You know what I mean? A lot of people are shut in here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Big blizzard on the East Coast. So, you know, what else we going to do? But, you know what I mean? We just want to get in front of the people and, you know, do a little bit of reporting. If you haven't seen the movie, we'll give you a little bit of understanding on it. You know, not to convince you to go see it and not to tell you not to go see it, you know.
Right.
It's on your own discretion, but, you know, we just want to, you know what I mean, bring out a little bit of edification of what we got from it, you know.
Right. And that's the main point. That's a breakdown commentary, man, just to point out pros and cons, point out the whole purpose of it, man, because a lot of people got a lot of different perspectives about it, right? And I think a lot of people going off on the wrong thing about it. Right. It's good tonight that we're able just to discuss. Anyone that join in the chat, leave comments, man. We'll pull them up. Shalom, sister.
Shalom in the chat already.
All in the chat already. Just giving brothers and sisters and the viewers time to get on. Shalom.
Shiloh and Judy, shalom.
So we just want to make sure that we get a full. And we're going to show a couple of videos. They're not long, but it's going to show you what other people are saying and what they're thinking. I think the main thing about this whole thing, man, what does the Most High say? Right? That's what we need to follow. Don't get mad. Don't get upset about the movie. Don't get to a point where you start obligatory laying out stuff. Go by what it shouldn't bother you if you're going by what the Lord said, man. Right? But if it got some great points in it and everything as well, right? Because I'm going to show a video that's got some people rowdy up from other nations, actually two of them from other nations. So it's good to show you what their mindset is set on. They looking at it different because race does play a major role. We can put it out there, right?
Absolutely.
It's out there.
And I love to see the other nations frustrated. I love to see them frustrated, man. You know what I mean? Shalom. Sis.
Shalom.
Sammy T.
Shalom.
Deborah. Shalom. Bill, brother Bill in the building.
Oh, he gonna come with some questions. He gonna come with some tonight on it.
You already know Bill always got some questions, precepts. Keep you on your toes, brother Bill.
Yeah. Deal with all praises, man. I want to first. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna go ahead and start setting up to get this video ready, Cap, and you can keep talking to him and intriguing him. You know.
Yeah, no doubt. So I ain't gonna lie. You know, when I seen that Jay-Z was doing the movie, well, first and foremost, when I heard about a movie that's going to possibly have black Israelites, you know, and I say black, but you know what I mean, melanated, so-called Negroes as Israelites, and the Messiah as an Israelite, you know what I mean, going out. I mean, of course, that caught my attention. You know what I mean? I gotta see it. Whether they saying whatever they saying, I gotta see what's going on. You know,
right?
And, so once we heard about the movie, I'm like, oh, it's intriguing. But then, you know, you find out, okay, Jay-Z's behind it. He's a known, you know, Hollywood elite, and you know they're known for being Satanists. And then you got the brother. We talked about it before. Came when they first previewed it. Remember Lakeith Stanfield, they got him wearing the eyeliner.
Honor,
You
the
know,
dress.
now, yeah, dresses and stuff like that, man. We know how Hollywood do, you know, and a lot of our people, you know, they may say that they not down with certain things, but they lay down. They get down, they put the dress on, they put the makeup on, Rakata, for the check. You know what I mean? They do these things for the check. Now, I'm not saying that that's positive. There's nothing positive about any of that. And realistically, the only positive that I'm gonna say about this movie is that it definitely shows camaraderie amongst our people. It shows, you know, the daily life and livelihoods of people that look like us back in the day. I mean, a more accurate description. Shalom, King.
Shalom, guy. Shalom.
It shows a more accurate description of what we've been used to seeing. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen the Passion of Christ. Most of us wasn't in the truth, but when we seen that, we was awestruck.
Everybody.
I mean, Hollywood, and Hollywood got that way of making you, you know, intriguing you and getting you locked in where you emotional and all of that type of stuff. And I did get kind of emotional on this one. I ain't gonna lie.
Salaki, but I was going to bring that out, but you already touched base on it. When we had movies like Passion of Christ, 10 Commandments, David, and the whole race of them was all so-called white people. You never heard any a backlash from the so-called black community. You never heard anybody say, "Man, that ain't Christ. He's just it's blasphemy." But with this movie itself, I've seen a lot of videos of the so-called black race go hammock and get mad because these characters are portrayed as the Christ and the disciples, and they're all colored. Jerusalem is colored, and it bothered them. It wasn't necessarily about the point that it was trying to make and express. It bothered them that they like, no, you know, there wasn't no blacks back then and everything. So what we're going to see, that's why I got this one video right here. Listen how it's affected. Listen to this other race of people and what they are saying, because they never got backlash from everybody. Accepted Passion of Christ. No one gave anything back with saying no. That is, I had one dude murdered somebody and went turned himself in. He been on the run for years. Saw the Passion of Christ, went turned himself in because of the video. He said, I couldn't do it. It touched me that much seeing Christ get whooped like that. That shows you the depiction that they have in their mind for Christ, saying, no, that's Christ. This dude right here playing this, it was blasphemy. And that's what they said. How come the book of Clarence is blasphemy, but Passion of Christ and all these other false images of the Most High?
10 Commandments.
I don't get it. I don't see the same backlash. And that bothers us, man.
And this is the first movie. That's why it touched me a lot. This is the first movie where you get to actually see. It's the closest you're gonna get to seeing Hebrew. I mean, that we have gotten. I'm not gonna say that we're gonna get, but we have gotten for a mainstream movie with Hebrew Israelites in it, like Yahushua, Hamashiach, the Messiah, a black man. John the Baptist, black man. All of these characters that we're reading about are actually depicted how they're supposed to be. Exactly. I mean, it's the closest we've gotten. So, you know, and keep in mind, we're not defending the movie saying, "Oh, this is a righteous movie."
Not at all.
But the you know, because what's that in Micah? I think, what is it? We're gonna go without a image.
Image. And Hosea, I think it's 3 and 5.
Is it Hosea? Yeah.
Let me go to Hosea.
Okay. And it's so important to have an image. It's so important to have that figure there where you can say you can identify. It's going to make a lot of people think and say, hold on, man. You know what I mean? I done heard that before. Them crazy looking brothers on the street corner be talking about we Israelite, we the Jews. Kanye West crazy self. You know what I mean? Now it's a movie coming out with a black Jesus, and they allowed it to come out. Now, true enough, they got a different message. Maybe they pushing a little bit, you know. And honestly, we in the truth, and I wouldn't seen the movie. There were some blasphemous things in it, but there were blasphemous things. The whole Passion of Christ movie, the whole idea is blasphemous. Right. The 10 Commandments, that's blasphemous. When you got a white, you know what I mean, this so-called the wicked playing the son of the Most High God. You know what I mean? Those are black. Nobody say nothing about that. We watch this movie, it's all types of problems.
And this is Hosea chapter 3, verse 4. The children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image,
Right.
and without an ephod, and without tampering. So he just told you that we ain't never had an image, because Hollywood don't pass on so-called black movies, man. That's made like it's anything to do with with so-called what they go by as Christianity. They won't pass on it. The only thing that I remember from back then that got played, and the dude came on the Donahue show was The Color of the Cross. And then when he went on that show, he got backlash by all them people in the audience, man. How do you know he black? Why you change it? One lady stood up and said, why did you change the image from white to black?
Right. Why would you change the guy, Lee?
What does
we don't want to be right. Nobody wants it to be accurate. We just gotta roll with the flow.
Yes.
Master gonna get mad. Don't say nothing. Don't do that. Master gonna get mad.
And that's a shame that they telling you, even though it's a lie, you still need to believe it and need to go on. You don't need to come and you don't need to turn around, because right now you don't change his color to so-called black. That's blasphemy. And it's heart gut-wrenching to hear our own people. It's more of our people getting online talking about something that was wrong, that was super wrong, than it is the other nations and stuff, man.
Right.
That shows you how much damage we are. Because the movie is not about saying this is actuality, like what happened, like what this is what you see is what you get here.
Right. It's a fictional movie. It's fictional with realistic characters. That's it.
That's it. And if they want to get on, if you want to get real upset, you should be upset. The precept that we just read, not knowing your image of your Messiah. That way you won't watch 10 Commandments, David, and all them with the wicked man playing them.
Right.
How can somebody be so wicked, know him more than his own people, man? We got to wake up to the truth, man. If y'all want to do, that's why I'm going to play this thing tonight, because I want the viewers to see it and listen. I want them to listen. Listen. I want you to hear the anger, right? I want you to hear how they going to express it and what they going to tell you, because they look at it as like a joke. Y'all black race, you Hispanics and natives, y'all don't need no hope. We going to do whatever we can to take that hope and keep you on the bottom. Right.
And let me just add a piece to it before you play it. Just the same way they did the brother that brought out Birth of a Nation. Remember, he brought out Birth of a Nation and the Nat Turner story. And they boycotted that. They did the same thing. Didn't want to go. We went to this movie. I went to see this movie 2 times in 24 hours. And you know what I mean? Honestly. And when we was in there, you could it wasn't 15 people in there both times, including me, and I came with a whole crew both times.
Dang.
It wasn't, and they only had 2 showtime for it the first time I went. You know what I mean? I went to a whole nother theater the second time. So they trying to boycott it and make it lose money. And I'm sure these people aren't stupid that created this movie. So I'm sure they understand, you know, what effect it's going to have on the audience,
definitely,
people, on the world,
definitely,
you know. Because like you said, it's never really been a mainstream. Now I know they made a depiction of the black Jesus that was like a comedian, but he was like I forgot what it was called, but he was like a comedian and he was kind of like a wicked portrayal of Jesus.
Yeah. And they even if the audience and views want to look at, go to YouTube. If you even type in our Black Jesus cartoons and stuff, and it pops up, it's going to depict him as a gangster, cussing, shooting, stabbing. It's never going to be a positive influence for us, man. Ever.
Right.
Ever. And our people don't even realize that, man. So when they come at this movie like this, man, let's break this thing down and find out what really is behind it.
Yeah.
And look what it's doing to the people, the nation. Just this movie alone, man. I've never seen the backlash like this movie. Passion of Christ never got this. I don't care what anybody say, man. I've argued with, I ain't even gonna throw the name out there, someone in my family, because back then when it came out, I said, that don't look nothing like the Son of God. And they got mad and got pissed at me and let me know that's Jesus. Right? But let's figure out tonight, man. Let's see what's really going on, because I'm gonna let you hear what they got to say about it. You tell me what you feel when you hear what they got to say, right? And I'm gonna be stopping this so me and Cap can dissect it. So y'all just bear with us. We want to catch and address everything, right? So let's go ahead and start this. Watch this.
A lot. Hallelujah. I think the Book of Clarence is in theaters. This is a very confusing movie, Alonzo. So I'm hoping that you can help explain it to me.
Yeah, somewhere between The Life of Brian and Ben-Hur is the Book of Clarence.
Oh, dead one, open your eyes. Elijah.
It's written and directed by James Samuel, who did The Harder They Fall a couple years ago for Netflix. And as much as he mixed up and played around with and amplified and renovated the Western in that movie, he's attempting to do that with the biblical epic here. And so Clarence is played by Lakeith Stanfield. He is the identical twin brother of the Apostle Thomas. And Clarence is kind of a ne'er-do-well, he's always got his fingers into something shady, and he owes a lot of money to a scary crime guy in, Judea, I guess is where we are. Clarence is trying to get out of trouble and get out of this debt, and he thinks, I'm going to become the 13th apostle. And when that doesn't go anywhere, he instead winds up going into the Messiah business himself, which briefly pays off, but he starts to get qualms about it. And he begins to think that his stance that knowledge means more than faith might not be the right thing. And just as he is maybe coming around to accepting Jesus as the real Messiah, he gets swept up in a Roman crackdown of messiahs in general, and it does not go well. But is there redemption? Is there a second act for Clarence? It's a Bible story. Figure it out. You'll see for yourself. This movie is a lot. It shifts tone so much. It starts out being kind of, like I said, very Life of Brian, sort of irreverent, kind of side eye view of biblical events. But then it kind of becomes an actual straightforward Bible movie. But then once that happens, you get a third act payoff of a joke that they start setting up in Act 1, and it's like, what are we doing here? I was never quite sure how seriously or not I was supposed to take any of this. Stanfield's really good and in two performances. There's a lot along the way that this movie tries to throw its arms around. You've got Tiona Taylor as Mary Magdalene, who we first meet in a chariot race, beating out Clarence and his buddy Elijah. You've got Omar Sy as Barabbas, who is a gladiator slave that Clarence manages to liberate, who then becomes, Clarence's, his other, part of his entourage.
His heavy, his muscle.
Exactly. Yeah. But you never see, what Barabbas is most famous for in this movie. So I don't know. There's even kind of plot things where Clarence is mad at Thomas because Thomas abandoned their mother when she was on her deathbed, but she's not dead. We meet her later. She's played by Marianne Jean-Baptiste. So I wasn't sure what that was all about. Plus, there's a lot in the Bible where Jesus basically told his followers, ditch your families. You don't have time for that stuff. So, which they don't address here much. So, I don't know. It's ambitious, and he's as in with Harder They Fall, he's playing a lot with anachronistic music in a cool way. There's funk in this movie. There's a dance number in this movie. Ultimately, I just didn't know what I was supposed to do with all of this.
Yeah, he did a lot of the music.
You know what's so funny about that? Here they are trying to break down and tell you the characters of the Bible. Right. How they basically trying to tell you how the Bible is supposed to be played out in a movie as if they know it. But what you got to help us understand, King, is when did the Most High put his word in these devils' mouths that they would know? So they was laughing and giggling about it, man, because they dude, is this a joke? Straight up. Right. So how do they know it's not a joke? That's what I don't understand, man. Here's some devils here trying their best to tell you this. I don't remember seeing them come out on the Passion of Christ like this, man, at all.
The thing is, man, when they don't understand something, it's silly. It's just hypocrisy. It's crazy. You know what I mean? The movie wasn't made for you. It was not made for him. I mean, obviously, you put a black Christ in this movie with black Israelites. It's sending that's a message in itself. That is the whole message of the movie. That's anything else that happens, you know what I mean? It's made by Jay-Z. It's Hollywood. They're not professed to be, certain religious people. They didn't say it was a religious movie. All of that, everything else, is just a movie.
Yeah, it's just a movie. That's
It's just
all
a
it
movie.
is. But
Right.
why does it offend you that people playing these characters and everything, and you say you don't understand it? We
Yeah.
didn't understand it, man, when it was a white man getting bent over a stump, getting whipped with blood coming out of him, talking about he loves everybody and he's an Edomite.
No, we didn't understand it when there was white men, a white man leading white people out of Egypt. You know what I mean? And then that didn't make sense either. The Ten Commandments. Moses is white, and the Israelites are white coming out of a white, and then the Egyptians white. None of that made sense.
None of it made sense. But here on this little segment, this little movie, one movie that come out, it offends them. And race does play a part. They're not. It's like she's saying hallelujah. You got to show me where he showed his word to another nation.
Right.
They don't. How can you say that?
Yeah.
How can you come on here and say hallelujah? You don't know him. Neither one of y'all do. If this movie offends you, then you obviously don't know the God that you say you know and the Messiah that you say you know, because they black.
Right. They don't recognize it.
They don't even recognize it. If that's and all the children and all the people from them are colored folks, so-called black. Okay?
Right.
So don't get offended by looking at this movie and trying to tell everybody, see, they don't know what they doing. We ain't going off this movie. It's just a movie.
Just a movie.
That's all it is. We're not saying, hey, he's playing, he's doing exactly what he's supposed to because we read it in the Bible. Nowhere have we ever said that. What's happening now, they go see it, they already done jumped on, done went against it. Both of them.
And I'm gonna tell you, King, everybody in the movie, like he was talking about Barabbas. He was Barabbas, he called himself the immortal. He was like, but I can't die. You know what I mean, brother? I can't die. He kept on saying it, right? And it was everybody owned their part. Everybody did in the movie. Everybody was hardcore, and it just looked natural, man. You know what I mean? And they didn't like that. All of the black, you know how you be at school, you know what I mean? You be at school, and the white teachers, they don't like the black kids to congregate, and they all be in one huddle in the cafeteria or whatever it is, and they break it up. But the white folks over there, they doing their thing. They don't break them up, but they don't like us to get together and have a good time amongst each other.
Not at all. It's a problem when we huddle. You know, I used to tell brothers that all the time, man. Hey, when they see us huddling, it's a problem. They're going to go say something. Look, man, they gathering over there, man. Break that up, man. You know, get some brothers, scatter them out, man. Every time they see us come together, they frightened. They scared. So when they see this movie come, it's not that it's portraying the truth of the message. It's that you're giving somewhat of a hope to your race of people.
And a reason to gather. And a reason to come together.
It's the coming together. It's going to draw in all of them, start saying, wait a minute, now we can change the way that we think. Right. Now we can say, when we hear Jerusalem, we getting a chance to look back and say, well, it was color, right? There's no such thing as the Middle East. Now you got even for all the dark race with the Moors ruling. We understand they were the first one in Spain and Europe and everything, man. Yeah. Now we starting to go back and say, wait a minute, man, how did all these Europeans put their images on us, man? How do they do that? Through this right here, this philosophy right here, where you see them coming out laughing at this movie. Oh, it's a joke. It's a joke. You can tell they don't know the Bible. They don't read the Bible, because if they read the Bible, they're going to understand, man, wait a minute. We got a so-called black man, angels, the Most High, all of them coming.
All of them.
Every last one of them, the prophets, Moses, all of them. But you can come on here and say hallelujah. Sister, you have the wrong name in your mouth. You better put your own name in your mouth.
That's right.
It's a little more on it.
Because he's primarily a British musician prior to becoming a filmmaker. He's sort of on both paths at the same time. Do you know who his brother is?
James Samuel's brother?
Yes.
No, who?
It's Seal.
Oh, okay.
I learned that today. I was today years old when I found that out, that his brother is Seal. So he also has, music in him. Yeah, sure. We really liked The Harder They Fall. I went back and looked at our review of that, and I'll link to that here at the end. We really liked it, and we liked sort of in his debut film, just a really bold mixing of styles and genres, and it all kind of came together. And I liked the big swings that he takes, and I laughed quite a bit because, as you say, it's got this like Monty Python kind of Mel Brooks kind of.
Hey King, what does his other movie got to do with this movie?
Right. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that's what other people brought that up. That's what I was like, nothing. You know, and I will say this: the other movie did the same thing. The other movie did the same thing. It was a black cast. He had a black star-studded cast. This movie had a black star-studded cast as well, and then it even had name brand white actors. The guy that played the White Christ, he was a beggar, and he's going to wind up the real Hamashiach. Put some money, gave him some money, made him rich. He went and got himself cleaned up, and he was so dialed up that the ignorant black folk around, they started worshiping him like, oh man, he got to be the Christ. He just got cleaned up, looked like a little girl, and they wound up hanging his white ass too. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna give it all away. But it was some irony into that. Seeing that white Christ too.
Because basically what she is saying is he did a good job in those type of movies. Yeah. Trying to play a biblical role, it's not for you.
Yeah,
you got to read between the lines what the woman is saying.
He done jumped too high, huh?
You done came over here trying to please something biblical. You're not, but she's not saying it in a way where we can understand it. They's crafty.
Yeah,
she keeping it to a point where we wouldn't even realize that and say no. He did do better in them. Well, he shouldn't be playing no biblical role. That's too high for your standard.
Well, when he made the harder they fall, he made that. I mean, he's basically trying to tell you something without in the same way they do it. He's telling you, hey, the first Cowboys were black. They were black men. The Cowboys were black. He's showing you again also. So you go do research and study on it. After I seen the harder they fall, I seen more and more things coming out about this dude was black and this character that you heard about was black. You know what I mean? Old westerns. You know what I mean? So same thing. It's to provoke thought into a certain group of people. The Chinese man ain't gonna look at this and what I mean? Oh no. He probably turn it off in there. But no, for the black man to say, dang, okay, what is that really weird? You know what I mean? Black people being Israelites.
They gotta kill that hope
and look it up.
Come on. They gotta kill it. They gotta kill that hope. They don't give these people no hope whatsoever. And they stupid because that's what they believe. Like the Black Panther, how all the so-called colored folks went and seen it, blew it out of the box office. Oh, they're gonna do this movie the same way too. So let's get on there real quick, man. Let's throw our little seeds in there and stuff. It's a backlash, man, to get them not to. Let everybody know when you go up in there, that is not Christ. That's not how it was. That's what you hear these people here complaining about.
Yeah. Well, I ain't going front. I really enjoy Black Panther, one of my favorite movies. This is one of my favorite movies. And it's got some blasphemy in it. You know what I mean? Right. It's got some things that are inaccurate in it, but again, it's a movie. And if you know how to separate the meat from the bones, it won't offend you as much because of the overall tone and message. Let me slap you, King. This fog guy. Welcome to the chat. It says no negotiation in the Most High word. You're right. There is no negotiation in the Most High's word, fog guy.
Right.
You're right about that. There is no negotiation. His word, it is what it is.
It is what it ain't changing.
So
it don't matter what they saying. It don't matter.
Right. Satirical, parody, playful quality to it. It's not that broad though.
No.
It's a little more understated in its humor. And by the end, I was kind of dazzled at like this massive arc that it makes, because it goes from being sort of a parody of a film about Christianity to being a legitimately like right before your eyes. And I'm like, how do we get here? So I think for anybody who thinks like this is blasphemy,
she said Christianity. The film don't.
Yeah.
Every film was made by Christianity. We understand that. Everything that's been ever done when it comes to these movies or church is Christianity.
Yeah.
Totally not. It's a really, at its core, a very straightforward story of somebody who is doubtful, somebody who has no faith, somebody who lies and cheats, and then like has the miracle happen and is converted, is transformed and becomes a believer. So it is really, it hits the beats that we know for many, many, many faith-based films that ultimately faith is affirmed at the end. And it's more meaningful because it's hard won, because this person was so lost, you know?
Yeah.
So I was kind of surprised that is where we end up ultimately. But even within that moment, it's not totally reverent, no pun intended. It's like it's got some weird bits of humor in really serious moments that kind of clang, but then I laughed at a whole lot else. But then I love David Oyelowo as John the Baptist. Like
Yes.
that was funny as
That's
hell.
a funny scene. Yeah. And you know, like Dave always complains that like faith-based movies are terrible because the churches drove the artists out. You know, and most faith-based movies are such kind of commercials for, you know, the choir that yeah, you're right. They don't really want to be complicated or give you people who are too flawed or who are on too complicated a route. So I will say James Samuel is an artist, and he is making a faith-based movie that is not your usual thing. It didn't all work for me, but I will say, like, stacked up against all of the God's Not Deads and whatever that I've seen over the last decade or so, like, this is at least ambitious and really trying for stuff. I don't know that it accomplishes it all, but at least it's trying.
Yeah, there's some individual moments that are great. Alfred Woodard is really great as the Virgin Mary, just a very, very formidable presence. Anna Diop is really good in it as the woman that he loves. Caleb McLaughlin from Stranger Things has a bit part. Like it's this really incredible cast, and it's so uneven, but it's so ambitious that I'm kind of glad that it exists, and I'm glad that
the whole purpose of this whole thing is that it's showing something different than usual.
Right.
Normally, when a biblical movie comes out, everybody already knows what race is going to it turns to.
Right.
It's automatically. So when you see something like this come out, that's why it's hard for the brother to say, I just don't get it, is because this is unnatural. Because guess what? Like Cap said at the beginning, when did y'all ever see something like this come out years ago?
Right.
Remember, man, they own the movies and everything, man. They wouldn't let one come out. It's illegal to have a black Jesus. Go type it in.
Think about it. Tyler Perry, billionaire. He got his own studio and all that. He ain't even try to step close to it. And he all in the Christian church, and you know what I mean? So that's my thing, man. You know what I mean? It's sometimes we gotta step back from we gotta understand that the Most High he's not just, how can I say it, man? He's not just one, he works on both sides. So he's going to do some things that you don't expect. He's going to use people that you don't expect to do certain things. You know what I mean? He used Saul, turn him into Paul, you know what I mean? Where he was persecuting the church. Now he working for the church. You know, it dang near like covert operate. He got people working behind the scenes, and even the wicked work for him. So the wicked going to do something that normally he thinking is wicked, but it's going to work out for the righteous sake. You know what I mean? And these people, two people premiering the movie, the woman is damn near ready to say, "Hey, that was a good movie." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She damn near trying to say it, you know.
Yeah. She don't know how to put it. She don't know how to bring it out because she don't want to be, pointed out.
Ostracized with the white dude.
Yes.
What was that?
Let's see. We got a question from Bill. No, it's that.
That's right.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, Christianity has brainwashed the whole world, but the truth will endure in the end. That's right, King. That's right.
King.
That's right.
That's absolutely right, man. As far as we getting into this thing, man, it's a good segment here to be up on, man, to bring out this truth, man. Like I said, man, like Cap was saying earlier, people go see the movie, don't just jump on it, man, and just be like, oh man, because guess what? Obviously, the same thing happened since they've been coming out with all these movies, 10 Commandments, Passion of Christ. People jump on them and believe, right? If you understand that all you got to do, man, is come back to the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, he's going to give you the wisdom and knowledge that you need that he gave Solomon.
That's right.
You're going to be okay. You're not going to go in there and get offended and say, well, I didn't like it, man. Because, dude, they've been offending the gospel for generations. It's been over 500-something years, man.
Right.
So don't get mad at this one movie, man. Just come out and just be like, all right, man, let me hold some points we can talk about and discuss and look at. Because in truth and honesty, there can be some valuable points and everything in the movie as well.
Most definitely.
See here.
I'm Clarence. I'm not a man without faults. I played the cards I was dealt.
Lance,
In spite of your selfish ways, there is a beautiful soul in there.
Knowledge is stronger than belief. If you be so kind to walk on water.
So while my family and I were seeing The Equalizer 3 in theaters, which by the way is actually a solid movie, as always, love me some Denzel. I don't think I'm going to do a whole review about it, but if you haven't seen it yet, or the Equalizer trilogy in general that Denzel stars in, I recommend it highly. But before The Equalizer 3, one of the trailers that played was for a film that I previously had never heard of before called The Book of Clarence. And after seeing that trailer, I immediately knew that not only did I definitely want to go see that movie, but also that I would be making at least probably 2 or 3 videos about the film.
Clarence, you need the miracles. I have a plan.
I can see! I can see! God sent me to deliver his message. I am your new Messiah. Blasphemous swine! Stop that!
If you guys are familiar with my videos, you probably understand what is attracting me to this project. And no, it's not the possibility that this is actually just a really good or decent movie. Instead, is that this seems to be on its face one of the most blatant attempts of historical blackwashing I have ever seen. And not only that, but we also got to throw in some black.
Hey, Kat, what she mean by blackwashing?
Blackwashing mean that we painting over the history with black people. My goodness.
She said that. I don't know if anyone in the chat caught that because
yeah. She first she had to hit us with she giving us one of them what they call it a compliment sandwich. Oh yeah, I love me some Denzel. I gotta go see that. And then when I seen that, I knew I was gonna go see the Book of Clarence. But then now you in the preview, you see everything right there. The preview gonna tell you it's all black people. You know what I mean? So you knew it. Now she's talking about, well, I knew I was gonna make some videos of it, and then when she's seen it, now it's blackwashing.
It's blackwashing.
Because she thought it was gonna be black people and white people, and then Christ was still gonna be white. Nah.
And if I'm not mistaken, is she Korean? What is she?
No.
I can't tell what her ethnicity is, but she, oh my goodness, man. But to say blackwash, I was like, wow, that's a first.
Right. That's definitely a first. We blackwashed it. And what would be wrong with that? What would be wrong with blackwash? They whitewash everything else. You know what I mean? They whitewash everything else. They getting white people to play black roles and
they're black in Egypt now.
Yeah. But we blackwashing it. You know what I mean? Try to take it back. Girl, get out of here.
Get out of here with that, man. That's crazy. She said they don't blackwash. She let that go quick.
Blasphemy against Christianity, because of course, why not? But anyway, regarding the project Vanity Fair, which did this entire glowing piece about it, they write that this ambitious tale pulls in classic biblical figures like Jesus, Mary Magdalene, and John the Baptist, but all with an unexpected twist. Like in The Harder They Fall, writer-director Samuel puts black characters at the center of Clarence, exploding another classic Hollywood movie genre with a fresh take, full of humor and heart. Most of the stories told in the Old West didn't include people of color. We know they existed. We know we've been here just as long as anyone else, says Jay-Z, who produced the film and credits Samuel with finding fresh ways and perspectives to talk about these stories. You see, that's such a short quote, but there's so much to unpack there. The idea that people of color aren't featured in like biblical stories. Nazareth, Palestine, if we go Old Testament, Egypt, these are places where people of color inhabited. They are people of color in these stories. Jesus himself, arguably a person of color. He was Hebrew. So I'm not really sure if Samuel, the director of this film, is referring to the fact that, sometimes they use just white guys to portray Jesus, which, I mean, they also, if you know anything about worldwide Christianity, have depictions of Jesus being Korean or black. And that's
where's they depict Christ to be black.
Right.
The only one, the only movie that I know that I talked about earlier. Yeah. Where? Now, I've seen him as an Arab. I've seen him as every other race, but I haven't seen no movie like The Passion of Christ anything where they depict him being a so-called black man. And they wouldn't do that because they don't want to give the so-called black race hope.
That's the whole point. They don't want to give you no hope. They don't want you to have no hope. That's the whole point of the movie. A little bit of hope. Yeah, it might got some things wrong with it, but a little bit of hope for the people that are in the darkness about everything. What is this about? Oh, okay. I get to see Christ look like me. Man, you know what I mean? It kind of, it's, as a matter of fact, it kind of make more sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't know Jerusalem was that close to Egypt and Africa. You know what I mean? Now that I go see that, now I'm going to look on the map. I didn't know Egypt and Africa was that close. That kind of makes sense now. What these brothers were saying on the street corner, that kind of makes sense now.
Makes a lot.
You know what I mean?
Of sense.
Yeah.
So with this movie coming out, it's showing you the mindset of people today, man. When they go look at this movie, they're not going to go look at it and say it's just a movie. Let's go see what it's about, like you would do any other movie. This movie is different prior to all the other movies that ever came out, right? In this movie, they understand this movie right here can be for salvation, right? That salvation will give people hope, because people of color see that and be like little girls, like a Little Mermaid. When they made that mermaid black, Christianity church tore them up. How dare you make Ariel black? You sons of, they went off.
Another fictional character. You know what I mean? They don't want you to have a little. Hey, look, they gonna be begging for crumbs. They don't even want us to have crumbs, really,
at all.
You know what I mean? Nothing. It's crazy. Let me get a precept real quick, King, before you started back. This 2 Corinthians 13:8. It says, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. And that's all that's going to do. It's only going to do for the truth, because the people that's lost, they lost. But if this movie find one person and say, hold on, you know what I mean? One person that say, dang, let me look, that kind of makes sense. You know, you can only do something for the truth.
That's right.
It's only going to benefit us. You got to.
Here's my thing about it too as well. When the movie came out, how come people ain't just looked at the movie and just being like, it's giving me faith and hope just to, keeping this run and keeping this race, instead of looking at it saying, okay, man, look at this, man. This is not right. This is not right. Those who in the truth, they understand, man. They know that the truth. They know this ain't right, man. This ain't where you're supposed to be. It ain't going to affect you. But at the same time, you can use it to show the wrong. You can use it to say, hey, man, look, where is this at in the Bible? How come we don't question these pastors like y'all question this movie?
Right.
How come we don't question the church?
Same way we would use it when Kanye West said, I'm a Jew. I'm a real Jew. We are the Jews, this, and that. Now, we use that on the street corner when we're talking to people on the Shabbat. We bring that up. You heard Kanye West. You heard about Kyrie Irving say they're Jews. Excuse me. Now, everything Kanye West does is not righteous. And we have to point that out. Nah, the brother, he do go off sometimes, but what he said, that's true. There's some truth to what he said. Everything Kyrie does is not righteous. It's not in the truth. But what he did, what he was looking at, what he understands is the truth.
That's right.
And we can use
that's
that.
Right.
We separate the meat from the bones. That's our job. That's why we're teachers. We go and see what's going on and say, oh, you know what I mean? Yeah, take that, but leave all that other stuff. That's fluff. Leave that off.
And that's so true, though. That is so true, man, because a lot of people don't understand that. We ain't saying, even with Kanye, but he knows the truth. And y'all still went and took $2 billion from the brother.
Yeah.
All because he came out and said, hey, we the Jews, right? Even though they're not doing right or living right, there's a little part of truth in them they know about. Like, man, we are the real Jews of the Bible, man.
Right.
And that's what's been problematic for a lot of folks that come and see this movie, man. They looking at it as, they not looking at it as it's trying to, they looking at it like, look at all them black folks, man. Where the white people at? Got one good one right here. What we got, Bill?
Probably got like he cut off a little bit of it. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Let him get back on. Finish his verse right there. Yeah.
I'll let him get back on. And let me read this precept real quick, King.
You got it? What you got?
3. Let me see what I'm gonna go with. Let's see what I want. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse. I think I'm gonna start at 3. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. 2 Timothy 4, and I'm gonna start at 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers and having itching ears. They shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. That's what's happening a lot today. They have turned their hearts and minds away from the truth, and they believe sound doctrine. That's why they turn around. They gonna listen and view with their eyes instead of reading the word of power itself, man, so it can wake them up so they can understand. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, he got the absolutely true state. That's right. Okay.
And the evil will work for them. Yeah, that's right.
That's right. That's right.
He got it on both sides.
That's right. You know, and that's what's wrong with today. Even with what y'all actually hearing from the beginning when she said black water, they don't want any part of the so-called black race to get hope at anything, man. If there's something that involves us, man, and it looks like it's going to be good to us, people got to come and downplay it. They got to jump on our real quick. We're not telling our people, go watch the movie, man, because it's the truth. You never heard us say that, right? Y'all been going to go see several movies that ain't being the truth. Why stop now? And then
right.
to this one, it's the message, it's the statement that it's trying to make of this movie that affects a lot of people. And race does have a big role in this movie with people coming on making sense.
Oh yeah. And let me get let me get this one real quick, King. First Peter chapter 2 and verse number 15. It says, "For so is the will of the Most High, that with well doing you may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men." Right? As free and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as the servants of the Most High. So that's what we're doing. We're putting the foolishness of the silencing the ignorance of foolish men. You know, it's some foolish men. I mean, even these people, the people that made the movie,
right?
They got some foolishness in them too. You know, some of the ideas in the movie, foolishness. You know, but we are taking this for what it is. It's a movie, and we're extracting the good from it. Like we got to do every one of these movies. Even with the Black Panther, had all types of witchcraft and sorcery in it. We had to extract that and take the, you know what I mean? And that was daggone a whole fictional movie, the whole movie fictional, no real listed character in it at all.
At all.
I mean? Everybody was head over heels in love.
Hell, gone.
Yeah. Now we got something that we can daggone really use, you know, and now people, hey man, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like they can't depixiate what is truth and what is a lie. Because we know today, whenever you do something good, it's a lie, right? If you do whatever what is a lie, it's good. It's the opposite. We rather do evil than good. It's just that way, right? So when people turn around and stuff, man, and they go see you doing the exact same thing you do when you go see all these other movies. Why would you go see them? And you don't see a lot of people coming out commentary on the movies they get done. Watch, they just go say we went to the movie, saw so and so, and everybody gone about their night. Right. But when it comes to something showing, maybe it was all Jerusalem AD. It was all color. What would that do? That little bit do to someone cutting on the TV, looking and seeing that and saying, was it? Because we don't teach nowhere in the school system do they teach you that it was so-called blacks back in the day.
No.
Show me one school that does. In fact, to get real on it, they show from what they teach us, it's like we didn't exist.
Yeah.
There's no trace because every movie highlights them as the superior.
Right.
They are superior. They above on all. They will not give a chance. They the great heroes. They all love it.
Right.
But when you go see this movie and it shows a different race into an effect, okay, we got a little problem. See, those fake Jews love money. That's why they signed off on. They love that money that's going to be coming to them because they know it ain't. It's not standing for truth. That's why they're going to do it. That's why they signed off on it. But if somebody can have the understanding, the knowledge of the Most High to go watching and stuff and be like, okay, man, okay, we see what you're doing. We got you.
Yeah.
It's cool. And not just fall into. See, they know that because they thinking, well, it's going to deceive even the elect. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick.
Okay. And I'll say while you're getting that, You know, they won't even give us a black James Bond, you ain't never seen a black Superman. You know what I mean? Not in the movies. You know what I mean? They don't want us to have none of that. None of that.
None at all.
Getting a Black Panther and shit, it's crazy, man. We get a mainstream so-called black Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, Jesus, you know what I mean? The Son of the Most High God. We get one of those in the midst of a crazy story, but hey, man, I'm for it. I'm for the image of a black Christ. I'm for the image of a black Christ.
Matthew 24, and I start at 23 and go to 24. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. Verse 24, for there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and as so much that if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect. Right? You got stuff like this and stuff, man, like that can possibly deceive the elect if you ain't fully got that armor on like you're supposed to have on for the Most High, man. That's not right. Saying go and just believe. Go and just say, look, that is Christ. That's what it's portraying everything. The true statement of it is this movie giving hope to black folks to show them that they are at a high standard. They just don't know about it.
Right.
Right. And that's the way the world has betrayed on God's people, man, because we're always on the bottom. And every time we try to do something positive for ourselves, we get criticized, we get condemned, right? And they make sure they let us know, don't you ever cross that line. No one's ever been able to cross. You had Nick Canyon that came on. What happened? They took his show once he came out and said, we are the real Jews. Whoopi Goldberg came on The View and said, those that died in the Holocaust, they was their own people. They suspended her. They know the truth.
Ice Cube,
they know the truth. They just don't want the rest of us to know it.
Right.
Got to keep that up under that rug. So when they come out with this movie and everything, man, they looking at it from another perspective than what we would, as the color race, would be looking at.
And to your point, this is a message. It's a subtle message. Now, I'm not saying to believe everything, like you said. Don't believe everything you see in the movie.
Right.
The depictions that you're seeing is a message in itself. Just like Paul, he wrote these letters when he was in the Church of Corinth, Galatia, all these people. He's on the run. He's writing from prison. He's not writing exactly straightforward. He's sending a message inside of a message. So you gotta, what I mean? Just like we understand when he's saying to all that be in Rome, called to be saints. We understand he talking to the Israelites.
That's right.
Ain't just talking to anybody. You know what I mean? But that's a message inside of a message. That message wasn't deciphered until now. You know what I mean? Till late, to the end time. So, that's what we're doing. That's what this movie symbolizes, a message inside of a message.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. But someone probably won't be able to have the see it that way. Right. A lot of people, that's why you're getting a lot of backlash on it, man, with a lot of folks and everything, man. And they going on it because they expecting it to be as the Bible portray it all to be. They want to see it, but they don't want to see it like that. They want to see it that way, but they don't. Because, like the first video that we played earlier, here these people are telling you they know exactly how Murray and all of them supposed to be. They ain't supposed to be on the card thing. My thing is, how you gonna turn around and say what was wrong in this, and you ain't said nothing was wrong in all these movies for 500,000 generations up to now? You never said anything. No. That's the problem I have. I ain't saying with the movie how what it's about, what it is. Why all these people coming up attacking it, showing putting their influences on it, saying no. Where was the same effort? Where was the same energy for all these other blasphemy movies that still came out? 10 Commandments, David and Goliath, Samson and Delilah. Where was it? Solomon. Where was it? There was none, because the world agreed. This is the images that we stay on. When you see the Passion of Christ, that is Christ. That's why when you put that horn on that Caesar Borgia's head out on the block, people come up and they get obliterated over there. How you gonna put them horns on Jesus?
Yeah.
That's Christ. What? And you telling them the Bible don't show him that way. They don't care. So why should you care about this movie, man, and saying, hey, It's got all this wrong. It's got name show us one movie that ever came out that truly went off the word itself.
Right. Just straight went off. Yeah.
Straight went off.
Just
one.
Right.
With word. That like it's been millions. It has not. The only problem that you have, the truth is, hey, now let one of these black movies come out now. Oh, Jerusalem, John the Baptist, and now you got Jesus' disciples and everything. Look at the message that's in there and stop trying to look at it on another perspective as far as, well, if you didn't have nobody whites up in there, if ain't nobody white up in there, it ain't right.
Yeah.
Let's just call it for what it is. It's a spade. Call it. It's not right. You don't have none up in there. It's not right. And then you heard the little message that he said, and even with Jay-Z, he said normally it's like black folks don't exist in Western movies and cowboy movies. That's why I liked that one movie with him, because it shows that we used to be cowboys.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people got to understand, man, because we're not saying go look at it, man, and just get all angry and get all mad. If that's the case, you're gonna have to do that for every movie you watch on TV and go to the theater.
Right, because if it ain't building for the kingdom, it's blasphemous anyway. You know what I mean? It's folly. You know, we watching with anything else. You know what I mean? It ain't gathering. It ain't building for the kingdom. So it's really folly anyway.
Where is the same hostility at when our people? We don't even have, they trying to erase us clean off of history, bro.
Yeah.
If our people understood everything that we've been through up to this point, and they go back and show Gator Bait, they go back and show how the hot box, how he's putting the brother, go back to that woman, Adam, what's her name? Adam, I can't remember her name in New Orleans, man. Adam Lorray, or something like that, where she used to cut her slaves' arms and hands and tongues off, have them in cages up at top, and then she set the whole building on fire. And they had to go through the top of the attic up there, man, and it was just the stink that was unbelievable. Where's your hostility towards that, man? Because the same people that come from them people are traumatized, man, up to this point. So don't get mad at no movie, man, that's just showing the all color, and then get on, man, and just say, look, man, it had me all messed up. It just had me all messed up. Like Passion of Christ and 10 Commandments never had nobody messed up. I ain't never seen no so-called white man die for us, man. Bleeding everywhere, getting skin pulled out, and hear everybody around the world elaborate on that thing and talk about how sad to see Christ like that, and don't even know he's a black man if he was here walking the earth today.
Black man
from the tribe of Judah.
Yeah. Oh,
and except
in this movie, that's one of the, because they really show it, Lakeith Stanfield as Clarence, really show him get done like that, and it's powerful, man. He that's one point I did want to bring out. He got some enemies in the movie. That's what the movie's about. The first scene, he loses a bet, and his enemies jump him and rob him, and you know what I mean. But when they see him getting whooped and beat, you know what I mean. Even his enemies was like, no, they trying to help him pick up the cross and all that type of stuff, man. And it's emotional, you know what I mean. And it's a beautiful thing because, and that's one of the pros of the movie is that it shows the camaraderie that we have with each other, that we had, that we still had that love. You know what I mean? Even though we were occupied by Rome, being occupied by Rome, we still, it's just like, you go in the hood and something happened and the police come and these brothers might have been beefing. Police come, this brother, he still ain't gonna tell on his brother though. He still ain't gonna tell on, and that's his enemy. He ain't gonna give him up to the white man. You know what I mean? Especially back in the day before we, we was really using guns. You know what I mean? Brother might have a fist fight. Police come, nobody know what happened. You know what I mean? Right. That's how it kind of was, and it brings you back to that love that, oh, we beefing, but I don't hate you that much that I'm gonna sell you off to the white man. I'm gonna give you, you know what I mean? That's how we, it's a beautiful thing, man. It really is. It brings some emotion out of you, man. Seeing a brother getting done that bad, we helpless. You know what I mean? We couldn't do nothing about it, and we trying to help each other out. It was beautiful, man.
Yeah, and I think that's where people gotta really depixiate when they go look at the movie. Try to see the points and everything, man. Not because if you have to go, if you go just straight off say, oh man, this was this, you have to do that to every movie, man. You might as well not go watch every movie. Yeah. Right? Because I can guarantee you, man, there's a lot of people that like movies, man, that's off the chart. That ain't even right, but they still like them. Right. So you got to pick out what you feel is good, what is wrong, you can pick out. That's the whole point of it. But the whole thing to me, if you look at it and everything, man, imagine if the so-called Black race can come together like that. Imagine what we could do as a nation of God, that we are, the nation of Israel that we are, and then we learn to come together and congregate. There ain't no telling what we can do if you look at it from that perspective. Right?
Because that's the thing about it. It had a little bit of truth in it, man. You know what I mean? I mean, from the jump, when you see Black people in Israel, Jesus Black, that's the truth.
That's the truth.
Now, the message that these, elites and Hollywood people and they're trying to tell, that's a little something different. And they never said, hey, this is a biblical description and accuracy of what happened when Christ. It don't even say that. It's a book about a fictional character, and that's what it's about. But it's got the truth. It got parts of the truth in it, and that's what you take from it.
Everything has always used the truth. The truth has been used and recited in their own ideology in their own way for generations, man. Right. So it ain't gonna be where they just make it up on their own. Everything comes from the Bible.
That's right.
Everything. That's how you got to look at it, man, and understand. Every movie, everything comes from the word itself. And this word being burnt, buried, ripped, torn, and it's still here today.
Yeah.
It's still here. And even people that done stole it, done try to use it to their perspective, and it still has not benefited them.
Right. And now we taking it back. Even though it ain't full strength, we watering it down a little bit, but we do got an image now. You know what I mean? And we're going to build on that. And it ain't got to be by the hands of the same people, you know what I mean? But we can build on that. And that's what it's about, the building blocks. Yeah. I got a few, once we get a chance, I got a few, pros and cons I wanted to touch on, you know what I mean? Just to, do a little accurate review of it, just to let them know, if you do want to go see the movie, you know what I mean? That's right, Bill.
That's right.
The cartoons, that's right. The cartoons these devils portray on this. Yeah, man.
Yeah, go type it in. Go type in biblical heroes. You're going to see what images pop up and what they all portray. Hey, so why is that okay?
You watch the Family Guy. They'll always have a sketch with a white Jesus in the sky somewhere, and then he doing something blasphemous. Nobody turn the TV off.
No.
Nobody write, oh, man, I didn't like what you did. You know what I mean?
Jesus. Nobody come out and say blasphemy.
Yeah. Nobody do that. Nobody do that then. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got a few pros. Unless you got some precepts.
Go ahead, you can pull them out. Go ahead and pull some of them out.
I'm just going to touch on I'm gonna go on the cons first. I'll start with the cons. So, like we said, fictional movie about a fictional character, Clarence, doesn't exist in the Bible, but he's so-called related to Timothy, Doubting Thomas, one of the 12, right? But the first one was that I wrote down as the Immaculate Conception. They kind of Clarence goes in there saying, "Hey, I want to be, a part of I want to be the 13th disciple," and then Peter immediately says, "You don't even believe in the Immaculate Conception," and Clarence is like, "Nah, man, you know what I mean?" And then Peter ready to slap him, right? But that's just something that they put in there, that maybe to please Rome or to please, the powers that be on the outside that say, hey, we're going to stick to the script a little bit, but we are going to show them as Black people. I don't know why they put that in there, but as we know by looking at the scriptures, there is no Immaculate Conception. No king has ever been born without a mother and a father. And Hamashiach Yahushua was a king. And what's that scripture king says he was born? I think it's in Hebrews. He was born like like unto his brother in every way. His brother.
Let's find that real quick. That's a good one.
Let me find it. I'm gonna get this one in Psalms, right? It says this Psalms 132 and verse number 11. It says, "The Lord hath sworn in truth unto David, he will not turn from it. of the fruit of your body will I set upon your throne. Talking about Yahweh Shai, right? He said of the fruit of David's body. It has to be the seed of David that's going to sit on the throne. Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, the seed of David. And that is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He has to become the seed of David. And we know the man has the seed. The man has seed. It doesn't particularly go into Mary's lineage, but she is cousin to John the Baptist's mother, Elizabeth, who is, the Bible states, from the tribe of Levi. So she's not even from the lineage of David. Therefore, we know that Yahweh Shai, or Jesus Christ, comes from the seed line of David. Let me get that.
And that's on Hebrews 2:17.
Is that what it is? Come on. Go ahead and bring that out, King.
Wherefore in all things it beloved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be a merciful and fruitful, faithful high priest in things pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people.
Come. Yahweh Shai HaMashiach was made like his brethren in every way. You know, their blood, the way that they were conceived. You know, he lived like them. He lived amongst them. You know what I mean? In every way, it says. Every way. So what brother you know, which one of his brothers didn't have a daddy? Didn't have a real daddy? A real father? Not one. You know, I'm not even going to beat that dead horse too much. That's just that on the Immaculate Conception that I wanted to dispel that notion and myth. Did you have something, Kenny?
Yeah, just keeping the people in tune with it, man. Like them some great points that you have brought out and everything, man. And we don't, if we're gonna go watch every movie and we want to really break down every movie, man, and then we need to make sure that we understand and keep everything on point and point out everything, right? But as far with this movie, man, you see, and it's not a lot of people saying Jay-Z, put him out of the equation, man. We know what he believe in and what he stand for, right? This whole movie right here, man, what we talking about is they don't want to see basically a group of us come together and make decisions with each other. Right. Because if that happened, man, they're gonna have a revolution, man. It's gonna start, something gonna pop off. That's why earlier we showed them videos, they were saying it's a joke. Anytime we come together and try to do something, it's a joke, man. Yeah. Right. This ain't gonna you shouldn't even base your beliefs off of movies or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You don't believe on what the world got to. We got to be transformed. We got to not be a part of the world, man. Just because they make it don't mean you got to believe it or whatsoever. But it's good to get in there. Those of you who actually read the Bible, it's going to be a nice little challenge for you. Right. Okay. You know, you ain't going to, because you know, a lot of folks don't read the Bible. They say they do, but they don't. Because if they did, they wouldn't get mad. They want to turn around, man, and say this is black. If it's blasphemy, you better call everything else blasphemy too, because that's all that's been shown. That's right. All the way up to this point in life. And that is never going to stop until Mashiach Yahweh Shai come back, man, and destroy that image. I was looking for that one that I wanted to show, but I couldn't find it.
You said another clip?
Yeah, it was one that I had, but I just couldn't find it.
So I'm gonna go a couple more cons. Oh, yeah, cons on it. So we got the Immaculate Conception out. You got to get over that. Also, another one is Yahweh Shai. Now he finally unveils himself. First, you can't see his face. You can tell his skin is black. You know what I mean? But he comes out and says, he says, I am he who exists, which we know that to mean Yahweh Shai, or excuse me, Yahweh in the Hebrew, meaning the Most High God. Blasphemy there, you know. I don't know if I can't say that it wasn't done intentional, but if you can get around that, you know what I mean? It's, you know, there's another, John the Baptist is still alive around in the movie, you know, once the persecutions are going on and everything. Christ is like 3 days prior. The movie's supposed to take place 3 days prior to Yahweh Shai actually getting on the cross. But John the Baptist is still around. We know that he got crucified. We know he got his head cut off. He got decapitated. maybe a couple of years prior to Christ getting on the cross. I think that was at the beginning of his ministry, matter of fact. Joseph, the father of Yahushua, he was around at the time, and we know we don't hear about him, past Yahushua's early years, so that's another thing. They got a little bit of Egyptian type music going on, sometimes a little bit of vibe, and that them wicked lyrics coming from Jay-Z, that type of stuff, and whoever else he got on the soundtrack. Tiana Taylor, I want to say I've seen her in something that got something to do with some type of witchcraft or something like that before. But they had her in the scene as Mary Magdalene. She's about to get stoned, and that's a awesome little scene right there. If you get to check that out, really nice scene right there where Yahushua kind of saves her from being stoned to death, and they kind of mix that in there.
Yeah.
But one thing I did want to bring out too, though, is they separated, like everybody you see in the movie, like we discussed, is an Israelite, is a so-called black person. But the other nation, when you see the other nations, they're either a peasant, a beggar, a slave, or they're the Roman soldiers, the police. And so I wanted to bring out a precept on that. That was just was that 10:7? Ecclesiastes 10:7. It says, "I've seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth." And that's literally in that movie. Servants upon horses. These frail white boys on horses threatening this nation of black folk, and the black folk really ain't scared. You know what I mean? For the most part, and they got some nice little action parts in it. So it's worth a watch.
Yeah. I mean, you got, for the most part, look, man, it's not saying go watch it. It's going to be the truth, or it's false knowledge. Man, live by the word itself. The word will be here forever. That's the best news, man. Don't get yourself worked up. It's a regular fiction movie. That's all it is, man. What movie in the world has been right? What movie have they ever shown that's been right?
Never.
I mean, we run around still calling ourselves black, and we don't look black. We still calling ourselves African Americans, and we've never been to Africa. We should be called just Americans since we born here. I mean, if we can't point out these lies, how you gonna point out the ones on this?
Right.
It just don't make no sense that people would get so emotional and get upset and everything, man. And this is why our people need to come back to your book.
Right.
Your book, your heritage, your culture. It's the Bible. These are your instructions. That's why nothing can deteriorate you away from what is true. It ain't gonna bother you, man. It's like any other movie. Everybody go to the movies, man. So don't say no, I ain't going, man, cause it's one thing. You a lie. You gonna get up, you gonna go with the family and everything and sit down and watch it and come out and just go live. Do the same thing. Especially to the ones that's in the truth, they ain't going to be rocked to sleep. If that's the case, creator should have rocked half of us to sleep. AI.
Right. That's right. I mean, we do and watch and see and hear all types of stuff all the time. Don't let this movie offend you.
Yeah.
It shouldn't offend you. That what I mean, we understand what's going on. I mean, we just seen what's his name? What's the little Nas X? He on a cross with his hair swinging it. I mean, blasphemy stuff like that. Nobody talked.
Nobody said anything. Nobody said anything.
No.
Right? At all. They love a lie more than they love the truth today.
Yeah.
The ears are itching for iniquity. That's what the ears want. That's what everybody wants. They don't want the truth. That's why some people getting mad and coming out getting mad because they're like, how dare you turn around and make Jerusalem characters all in black now? When you should have had them all white. Everybody know back then Moses in Egypt, they was in chains on, they was getting whipped in the desert. You had Billy Graham make a statement one time in one of his preaching ceremonies, said, you black folks, don't you be afraid because a black man carried his cross.
Yeah. Golly.
That's all we good for.
Try to give us a crumb, didn't he?
Yeah, letting us know y'all carried crosses. Y'all was in, yeah, we're gonna give you that a little bit, but that's it.
Right. Right.
Don't you dare try to go above that, right?
Right.
They don't want to see that, man. And to keep and people got to realize the Jewish own all of that. All the movies, they sign off on everything.
Mm-hmm.
They know
own the studios.
exactly. They know exactly what this movie's going to do, what it's put out to do.
Yeah.
Can some of us get the message or not message in it, or will it is it meant to mislead a lot of folks? When they sign off on something, it's for them.
Mm-hmm.
They know what it's going to bring to them. Because some of us people gonna turn around and look at that, man, and say, guess what, man? It had to be back then with that. You see that? I think they had one what was that? Romans, one of the Roman soldiers in it, Cap. And I haven't seen it, but you seen it. Was that what was he?
Say it one more time.
The Roman soldier, he was was it Roman soldiers in there? I didn't see the movie.
Yeah. The Roman soldiers, yeah. You talking about the white boys or?
Yes.
Yeah, Roman soldiers, yeah. Yeah, had number the white people in the movie were the Roman soldiers. You know, the police, they coming by through, and that's what the thing, because when you see it, it's just like here out. They walking Clarence and his crew, the black, you know what I mean. He got a crew of black dudes, you know what I mean, and they riding through the town, and then or walking through the town, and Clarence sells weed, and so the police coming. They say, "Oh, here comes the Romans," and so he stashed his little weed in the jar over here next to some other black folk chilling. He like, "Hey, keep that for me, don't touch it." You know what I mean? Then the Roman soldiers walk up on him, talking about they fit the description. You know what I mean? You know, stuff that you could relate to. It's meant so we can kind of relate to it. Like
what goes on modern? Yes.
Yeah, showing you that them white boys was the police at the time. You know what I mean? And so you know, they get past them, they go get their little stash, and you know, and he doing his thing. But then he eventually stopped doing all of that. And that's another pro about he does find faith at the end of the movie. He comes to understand that the Lord is. I mean, he was passionate about there is no God. He has knowledge over faith. There is no God. Knowledge is better than faith, he was saying. You know what I mean? Or better than belief, or whatever he was saying. And he comes to understand because the Lord actually makes him walk on water. That's what got him killed, right? They take him, they go to find, they say, "Hey, I got the police come," and he say, catch him after the club, right? The police come, the white boys, and they say, "Look, we heard that you're a Messiah here, and we got a order from Rome to destroy and to capture all of the Hebrew messiahs that are trying to rise up their people." And you know what I mean? He tried to fight against it. "Nah, man, I was just faking it and this and that." He said, "Okay." Now he got him. He said, "Look, if you're not the Messiah, walk on this water." And Clarence, in front of everybody, Clarence like, "Look, I can't even swim, so I'm going to drown." He's like, "Man, if I don't walk in this water, you going to let me go?" He said, "You know what I mean? Well, yeah. You know what I mean? If after you drown, I'll let you go." You know what I mean? This is the Roman soldier. Long story short, Clarence winds up walking on the daggone water, right? The Lord made him walk on the water. And when he walked on the water, the Roman soldiers tried to jump in there to get him, because they're like, "Nigga, you was lying. You are the Messiah. We knew you was just lying so that you didn't, you know what I mean? You are one of the Messiahs." So Clarence is like, "Oh my gosh." You know what I mean? And what happened is he said, "Look," he said, "if you wouldn't have been able to walk on that water, I wouldn't have to crucify you. But since you walked in that water, I'm going to crucify you," right? So that's what got him killed. And the Lord made him walk on the water. So the Lord made him go through that, basically. You know what I mean? And that's what got him crucified. That's what got him killed. And he dies, and Yahweh Shai comes and resurrects him at the end of the movie before he goes to die. It's powerful, man. It's a powerful movie.
And I think that's the biggest thing too, man. A lot of folks got to understand when they go see that movie is, you know, what I'm touching on is the rupture it's having from the effects of it, you know, from different colors of the race that's on the face of the earth that's just looking at it, saying, getting upset, getting mad about it, and not understanding it's a deception, this is that. hell, where in the book did it ever say it was going to be true at in the Bible? Like
Right.
where at? But if
Hey,
it bothers you that much, it should have been bothering you for over 500 something years, man, thousands of years from what's been going on. I just haven't seen the same energy from these other movies that done came out as we're
at
actually
all.
seeing for this. That's where I want to see why we tug of war in it. I want to see why ain't the same energy going on. Why are
Right.
people just accept what's been given to us over the years time till now that this is on? Now everybody is upset.
It's supposed to make some noise though. It's supposed to make some noise. I can't wait to talk to the heathen at my job, man. You know what I mean? We had to work from home today. It's probably work from home the rest of this week. But you know, the heathen like to say, "What you guys do over the weekend?" And what movies? They know I like to watch movies. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let them know because I've been telling them. And I haven't heard of that one. I haven't seen the preview for that. Oh, you haven't? I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna tell you all about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you all about it, and you're gonna have to swallow it. You understand? I'm gonna tell you all about it. Now I'm gonna let you know the pros and the cons too. I'm gonna let you know, yeah, you know what I mean? It was just a fictional movie, but it had some truths in it, you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
See how they handle that.
Yeah, they'll take a little just to make a little, right? So people just gotta understand it's a fiction movie, man. You know, if we can't see what's not the truth and what is a lie, then how can we even call ourselves who we call ourselves today, man? We still are slaves to the very things that were taught to us, man.
That's right.
We still call ourselves Black African American. We're not Black. We can't even get over that. We accept that. But then when it comes to this movie right here, it's a whirlwind, it's a tornado, right? If that bothers you, it should bother you about knowing the truth of yourself, man.
Yeah. This is the last thing I'm gonna say on it too. Just now, remember, I'm looking at my notes. It shows the difference between your enemy and your enemy. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna get a precept on that. I'm gonna get 2 precepts on that one. Can you give me Micah 2 and 8? And I'm gonna get Matthew 5 and 44, I think it is. Baba Kashai. Yeah, that was this is another point that that the movie subtly showed you. You know, like I was saying, Clarence had enemies in the movie amongst his own people. You know, they robbed him, they stored him, that one of them was about to kill him too. So-called, you know, the woman that he loves, her brother was about to kill him, he was in debt to him. But then when the movie goes on, Clarence gets into it, he gets locked up by the Romans. Everybody started trying to stand up for him, even though they was his enemy, you know. And it's a beautiful, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful love story amongst our people, man. It was that part of it, that aspect of it was beautiful.
We said Micah 2 and 8.
Yes, sir.
Micah 2 and verse 8. Even of late, my people is risen up as an enemy.
Right.
Yea, pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by secretly, as man averse from war.
And that's kind of ironic because that's what happened. He got robbed by the little gypsy guys, little black dudes, and they robbed him and took his robe from him. You know what I mean? And but yeah, it says even as late my people has risen up as an enemy. You know, so when I go over here to Matthew 5 and 44, it says, "But I say unto you, love your enemy, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you." The precept to that is what Chief just read. When my people rise up as an enemy, you know, bless them, love them, my people. And they were actually functioning that when, you know, the dude robbed him, he still showed love to him at the end, trying to help him up the steps with the cross. You know, one brother said he was going to kill him. All through the movie, Clarence trying to figure out a way to pay him back. And then he steps in and he tries to step in the way for Clarence not to go to prison and get crucified. You know what I mean? He even vouches for him. Now, this is a good man. You know what I mean? He got his faults, but he ain't wicked like that, you know. What you got, Samaria Tay? She said, overall, very edifying and worth watching, but the quality could have been a little better, in my opinion. There is a lot of blasphemy as expected, but definitely a beautiful movie to see. I appreciate that honesty.
That's honesty, right?
Once
again, like what the sister just said on there, it's not telling people to believe. No. Go and believe. It's not that. So you really don't have to worry about saying it's because other people ain't going to know what blasphemy is. Hell, they blaspheme every day. They walking around and everything.
Walk right past it.
And walk right past every day, you know, and they don't understand it's black. So it's not saying that this movie, notice the movie didn't portray, it didn't even show like breakdown. Why it had to be the Book of Clarence? Why can you just come out and do a movie of the risen Messiah and have it just like that, where you're showing out Jesus Christ himself, you know, doing his miracles, you know, going around to the children of Israel. Notice they had to get it away from that to make it on this point, Book of Clarence, man, to keep people focused on this area still of the truth, man. Right. So that's true, what the sister just said, man, right? And everyone's done picked up on it and done all the way around saying blasphemy and everything. Yeah, it's not. If this definitely, if this is blasphemy, every movie you ever watched about the Messiah has been blasphemy.
God.
You can't just point out this one, man, and say everybody jumping up. It's on every movie, right?
And TV show.
You can find some things that make sense a little bit, like the precept that we just read and everything about M's and pulling out. You can run with that. Trust me, man, because I know, I tell you what, Priest Abba, he do the same thing. When he go watch movies, he give a little commentary on it, picking out the pros and cons.
Yeah. That's it. Everything we do, breathe, touch, say is on the world center stage. You don't ignore knowledge, you ignore stupidity. Our people are hated through the knowledge of the stupidity of the world. That's right.
That's right.
That's well said, Bill. That's well said.
That's well said.
Don't ignore the knowledge, ignore the stupidity. That's right.
Exactly.
Break the meat from the bone.
Don't worry about seeing it, man. Remember, it's a fiction movie. It's not real. Right. That's what a lot of people got to realize. Don't. And it's not saying that if you don't say nothing, the Lord is going to hold you accountable to it. No, man, you're not accepting it, man. You're not saying, hey, this is actually reality right here. We would never be in this position in the first place if it was, man. Right. So don't let it persuade you or anything. Just you watch every movie every day, right? You watch different kinds. You know, they don't persuade you. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. If you're able to pick up something good, pick it up. If you pick up something bad, pick it up. You're like, all right.
And if you don't understand, you go there and you use your Bible. Then, if you see something there and you want to, you look. If you can't find it in the scriptures, throw it out.
Yeah, that's what
come back to us and let us know, and we can, you know what I mean, break it down. Hey, man, you leave that alone, or we'll tell you that that's accurate.
That shows you, because knowledge is power. That's your growth, right? You should always come back to where it starts at, right here. Man, let me open up my Bible, man. Let me read and see what's going on. How many people have that mindset to do that, though? Not a lot of people. They've been trained for so long to believe in something for so long that all they got to do is, once they see it, just say, oh, no, that's not right. But they don't never pick the Bible up and read it, man.
Right. Christians do that all the time.
They do that all the time.
If it ain't what Pastor Masters told me,
it ain't right.
Grandmama told me, it ain't. I ain't listening. I can't hear it. You read even when you open the Bible, I can't do that.
They ain't got time for it, man. They don't read the Bible. This is why they don't know. We, the elect of the Most High, understand and know His word, man. Because we keep the laws and statutes, the Lord is going to protect His people, man.
That's right.
He ain't going to allow them to turn away. Only way you're going to be able to fall, man, is if you allow stupidity or something like that, man, to persuade you.
Right.
The word is the ultimate goal here, man. Read your Bibles more, and you won't have to worry about what's wrong and what's right. You got the word in front of you. You got to eat this thing, man.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody put Jesus Christ or Jerusalem on it, you shouldn't be so quick to say that's true.
Right.
The only way you're going to know what's a lie and truth, man, is hearing this word, because Christ told the enemy in Matthew 4:4, man cannot live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. Read the word of God. We should be, hey, if it's anything, hey, I would like to see some people taking the Bible in there.
Right.
Now, if y'all
Right.
bold enough to do that, damn it, stand out there on the block for the Lord, man, and burn these churches down, man. Because they blaspheme every Sunday.
Never tell
week.
you who you are. Never tell you who Christ really is and what he's coming to do.
Never.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
You got Will Murphy done turned it into a club, which we got part 2 coming out. Churches be clubbing. Them boys was walking it out.
Huh.
You got Juanita Bonner came out and said, in order for you to learn how to pray, it's going to cost you $1,500. Show me that in the word itself.
Wow.
You
They
got
swag surfing and stuff, celebrating the new so-called New Year, and
and these brothers and sisters stay crowded up in there and they get down. That's blasphemy.
That's blasphemy.
No one is saying anything about it. Even what happened to whatever his name is, TD Snakes, whatever y'all call him, came out and said, I won't, and if I did do something, I got the blood. That's Christianity. Do as much as you want, live how you want. As long as you call on the blood, you're going to get forgiveness for it. That don't make sense. But our people cling to that thing and know, hey, that's right. That's blasphemy. All I got to do is just call on the name of the Lord and I'm forgiven. So I'm going to go out here and kill somebody and just call on him. He's going to say, yes, you repent. That don't make no sense.
At all.
That's your real movie dictate right there, them. Look how they done made this thing, man. So now when you go see stuff like that, man, you, oh my God, you get angry. You should be getting angry at what they done showed us for generations, man. That's God is here at this point. What will it take for us, man, for our people to just wake up and come to the Lord's law, statutes, commandments, man, so that we can get the hell up out of this place, man?
Right.
We're tired. We ready to go home, man.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna worry about if what's fiction, what's not fiction when the new heaven and new earth come. That won't matter. But first, this image of the beast is gonna have to be torn down, man. It's gonna affect too many people in so many ways, man. That's why earlier you heard that couple come on say it was a joke. It's a joke. They're not looking at it as joking like it's black. They looking at it like, no, how dare y'all get up and make a movie and there is no white people, man. It's the top actors and stuff in it. Come on, man.
Right.
That's what it is. Don't beat around the bush and say, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. And you got several of them online calling it out like that, man. Man, that was wrong. They were wrong. It wasn't wrong when that man was walking around, man, talking about land with one arm on the damn stud pole and they was whipping the hell out of them on both sides. People was crying in the theater. They couldn't even walk out on Passion of Christ. They couldn't even walk out.
Oh, no, not a Passion of Christ. This movie made me get a little sentimental. I ain't going front. But nah, the Passion of Christ, that was it did touch you too. It touched you too, especially before we came in the truth and we just thinking, oh, we just accept what they give us. We ain't got to do that no more. We got the truth. You know what I mean? Let me get this precept real quick, Ken. It says, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse number 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means. And that's what you got to do when you watching anything. Don't let nobody deceive you. Use this.
That's right. Use the Bible.
For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. The man of sin is being revealed every live chat that we do, every time we hit the corners. You know what I mean? He's constantly being revealed. Even in the movie, he's being revealed. That man, the Bible says, don't be deceived and don't let nobody deceive you. The day of the Lord is not coming except there be a falling away first, and then the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, right? Esau. It says, verse 4, who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called God. Now, in Psalms 82 and 6, the Most High called us, the Israelite men, gods, right? But he opposes and exalts himself above us, above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sit in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And that's what he's been showing us all these 500 plus years. You know what I mean? Since the Renaissance, showing himself that he is God. But he's the man of sin, the son of perdition, according to the Bible. And that's how we know we in the last days, because his skirt is being pulled up. The Lord is letting us see that this is the son of perdition. He's the wicked. That's not God.
That's right.
They're not the Israelites.
No, sir.
That's what that movie said to me. You know what I mean? To me, looking at it from another perspective, another vantage point, as if I wasn't in the truth, but I could have been susceptible anyway. Either way, if I've seen that movie, I would say, man, black people as Israelites. You know what I mean? They even use the word Negro in the movie. Christ said, one of you Negroes going to betray me. Now, everybody ain't called a Negro. You know what I mean? He talking to the so-called African-American men. We the Jews. We understand we was the ones on them boats. So the movie, it's got some messages in it. It's got some, like we said, it's on both sides, but it's got some messages, some things that you can really pull from in there.
Yeah, especially if you're reading the Bible, right?
Huh.
We know what the Lord said in the last days, man. Many false going out and everything, right? But we need to recognize who this man is, the one that's been placing these images up in our minds for centuries, man, of the Most High. It offends any one of them when we show there's color involved. It offends, man.
Even our people. So, like you, real quick, just to finish on that one, it's son of perdition, right? I looked up the word perdition, and it says a state of eternal punishment and damnation into which a sinful and unpenitent person passes after death. So the son of perdition is a so-called white man. The Bible calls him Esau. He's a son of perdition, and he's been revealed. You got it, King.
Yeah. That's true. That's factual. That's facts, man. Right? I think that's the whole message behind the whole thing, man. I see the uproar in it from other people looking at it and getting angry and getting mad. You know, wait till the real one come out where it's actually doing one where it's showing. You can expect it's going to be an uproar, right? And
fringes on. The next one fringes on
and everything. It's going to go, and they won't even sign off on that.
Oh,
they wouldn't even sign off and say, yeah. They're gonna say no, because the truth is not to be unveiled in their eyes, man. Right? They know exactly who the people of the Most High is, man. The problem is they just don't want us to know who they are. So we got to come out in past days. We got to come out, man, and tell our people, turn back to the Lord, turn back to the word itself. Right. Don't wait to see stuff on that. See, we go off what we can see, and faith is not by what you see.
Right.
We got to stop waiting to see and we did the same shit with the the calf. When Moses came down off the mountain, we only made it to 10 commandments and was like, Moses, get on back up there. We can't hear God. He's going to kill us. We don't want to hear the other. That's more than 10, but we couldn't hear them all. Get on back up there. You can get up there, go find out how many. Then when you come back, we're going to listen. But while you gone, we're going to go off what we need to see. We need to see and feel something. We're going to make a calf, and that's going to lead us back. We're going to leave and go right back into captivity.
Mm-hmm.
This is the mindset of the Most High's people, man. Look how many people of ours getting upset. My thing is, why are you not getting upset about not knowing actually who you are, that you're an Israelite?
Right.
That you're from one of the 12 tribes of Israel.
And
that's more important.
Yeah.
That is big.
Yeah.
Come back to your nationality according to the Bible.
Right.
Now you're going to be at that job and stuff, man, and be like, now I see why these folks hate me, man.
Right.
How they look at you and can't stand you and be like, this nigga right here. If I catch him, look what's done happened to our several of our people. The brother down there in Mississippi, man. The one that still bothers me. How he calls his mother and texts her and tells her his boss. If anything happened to him, it's got to deal with his boss. Yeah. The brother down in Mississippi is hung, skull cut off, spine ripped out. And nobody knows anything till this day. What happened to that man?
The wickedness, man. Audacity of the enemy, and they do it blatant. And let me get a precept on that, man.
They don't care. Our people don't even.
We don't care.
We don't care. I won't say nothing about it. You don't see us gathering.
They twerked at the club that same night, and when they found out the news, they still went to the club and twerked. Instead of saying, damn, dude, I heard about bruh. I might not have known him, but just down the road, he got hung and nobody rioted. We didn't go out and, you know what I mean? If that would have been a Palestinian, you know what I mean? They would have had riots all over America.
All 10,000, 20,000 marching strong.
Let me get this. Zechariah chapter 11, verse number 4. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, the Most High, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not." That's us. We the flock of the slaughter, and we getting destroyed. And the people that's destroying us, our oppressors, they hold themselves not guilty.
Mm.
They don't even go search for them.
You want to be mad, Israel? Be mad for what lie that you believed in by the enemy who taught you to believe in it.
Yeah.
If we learn how to come together, one of the powerful things ever, and I will say this, was segregation.
Mm.
You go, y'all stay over there, we stay over here.
Right.
We had Black Wall Street doing good, and then guess what? They bombed it. That shows you don't need them. This is the same thing that the Most High is saying. My people are to be holy. That word holy is separate.
Right.
There's a reason why he wants us separated. We go mingle and get with the enemy and everything. We become like him, walk like him, talk like him, live like him. Believe what he's taught us in the school systems. They're not teaching us in the school systems who we are. The government is not built for us to be fixed. It's built for us to be broken.
Therefore, if they're not teaching us in the school systems, we got to learn about it on a TikTok, a YouTube video, or on the street corner. Because we ain't learning about it in the church or the classroom, you know. And that's how we got to get the message about, or a little bit of truth in a secular movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how we got to learn who we are.
And that's what's more important than getting upset and getting mad over something like that. Don't pay too much attention to, I got to figure this out. It's a fiction movie, like we said in the beginning.
Right.
More purpose, your main purpose, man, is to pick up the word itself. Israel. Know who you are. Learn who you are. Come out there on the block, man. Get in comment sections, man. Get a hold with these brothers that be getting out here on the block teaching this word, man. Come out of them church buildings, man. It ain't doing you no good. They putting you to sleep. That's all they doing is putting you to sleep. That's why it's able for people in the church to fall like they fall and say it's okay. Come to your true calling, man. This is your true calling that we got to walk according to. Matter of fact, I want to get that real quick. Okay? It just hit me real quick.
I had one too.
I just want to break this down, man. What is it? Romans 2. I want people to understand. Let me see what I want. This is very important, man. I'm trying to break this thing down, man, with our people when it comes to this law, man. They don't understand how important it is, man. Let me see. I think it's Romans 2. And probably start at 14.
Romans 2 and 14?
Yes.
Get there. Let me get there. This is the book of Romans, chapter number 2, and verse number 14. It reads, "For when the Gentiles which have not the law."
Hold on. So it says, it says, "For when the Gentiles which have not the law." Now, if I do call cap, the only people that was given the law was the Israelites, right?
That's right.
It's showing you there are some Gentiles that don't have the law.
Right.
This is what makes the northern kingdom go off and become Gentiles, because they go and live the court customs of the other nations that are Gentiles. And that means Gentiles, that means nations.
Right.
So let's go ahead and finish it off, Cap.
"For when the Gentiles which have not the law do by nature the things contained in the law, these, having not the law, are a law unto themselves."
I'm gonna drop the mic right there on it completely, man. They don't have the law, so they're not going to teach us the laws of the Most High. That's why you see America know it's Babylon. That's why they do same-sex marriages, right? They do what pleases them to themselves because they never was given the law. And the problem is our people turn around and you see that and you say, okay, the law done away with. Well, if the law done away with, we can murder. We can kill. We can sleep adultery. It's not. Sin is the transgression of the law.
That's right.
So your Gentiles, they didn't get the law as the other nations. The law was given to Israel. That's why the other nations do what pleases them.
Mm-hmm.
You just read that in the precept. And y'all love Paul so much, so there you go. Paul said it. Go ahead, Cal.
Precept. I got I'm gonna get Leviticus 20 and 26. And you shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that you should be mine. So the Most High is telling us, like Chief said, we supposed to be separate. We supposed to be segregated right here on this Martin Luther King Day, matter of fact. You know what I mean? It was January 14th. We supposed to be separated. Either Most High lie or Martin Luther King is a lie. And we know that we're going to let every man be a lie, and the Lord be righteous. The Lord be true.
That's right.
The Lord said we're supposed to be separated. He severed us from the other nations. So be holy. Be holy. Be separate. And the law makes us holy.
That's right.
The law makes us holy. So we need to be keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, and come back to the Most High like we're supposed to. Once we get that understanding by saying, "Oh, okay, I see who I am now." Now come back to the law. It's steps. We doing it in steps, incrementally.
Yeah, don't waste all our energy on things that's fiction and non-fiction. Focus on what's important for us as a nation, as a people, because they ain't gonna teach us this in school, Cap. They're going to teach us to go away from what the Most High is calling his people to come back to, so that we can get out of here. If it was not important for the Most High, he would have never gave us them laws. He would have allowed us to be like the other nations. He said, no, you are to be set apart. And our people don't even understand that. That's why they so easily moved by a lie more than he is with the truth. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, man, because we got the spirit of like the same spirit Paul got when he said, my desire to see all of Israel saved. We want to see all our people saved, man. We don't want our people to continue going out, living the way they living, being an enemy to the Most High, man, because, hey, the way that I'm a captive in this world, this is it. No, this is not it, man. We need 12,000 strong from each tribe, man, so we can go home, man. So Yahweh can come, man, and destroy. And yes, America will be destroyed. That's right. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. You can't spill innocent blood, build up a nation off of it, a world, a country, and then tell the Most High you're going to accept that whether you want to or not. You bold to do something like that don't teach our people in these schools that they are the Israelites that were brought here on slave ships with yokes of iron on their neck. The children were sold to another nation of people. They was called by words. We got so much history after our man that if we find that history, man, it will set us free in the name of the Most High. It will set us free. Hey, think of how school would be if they started teaching. Y'all know y'all the real Israelites. They had a class in the social studies class. I mean, even if they had a 2-week or a week study of the Israelite, the people that were brought here on the slave ships are really Israelites. And man, I think of how that would do to our youth, our children, our kids, and we can elaborate on that, man. You know what I mean? But they concealing the truth with a lie. You know what I mean? That's what's going. That's why they got to pay. That's right. They had an opportunity to correct it. They had an opportunity to change it and to do what's right, but they're not going to do it. Same thing as in Palestinians and all of these other nations. They at war, going to war right now, but they had an opportunity to say, hey, America, y'all on some bull. Y'all need to let them Israelites go. But they ain't never do that because they had us over there in slavery too. That's right. And France and Spain and Europe and Portugal. You know what I mean? They had they hands bloody too. That's why they all got to pay. So when we on the street corners telling you, hey, they going into captivity, thus saith the Lord. That's the Lord. That's why. They had the Lord is giving them space and opportunity to repent, but he already telling you they're not going to. They're not going to. They're not. Right. And that's why they gotta go. That's why they gotta go. Yeah, and I'm glad we brought that precept out earlier, man, about Romans 2:14 to show you, man, these people cannot be saved. The Bible doesn't say anything about saving other nations. It don't say that. It nowhere in there does it say it's going to save Amalek, Moab. Never. Salvation is for Israel. It don't all through the Bible tell you salvation for. But yet they have taken it and said it's for everybody. But I have not found a precept yet that says, yes, it's for everybody. So we got this trains for so long. Just the other day, I watched think of a couple of movies like the Django. Yeah. Remember the dude had the whip. He was walking around. He was what? Reading the Bible. You shall honor your master. Giving you little brief activities of what really actually happened when they had the slave Bible, letting us hear what they telling us so we would obey. And here the Lord is telling you, Israel, you the one picked the blessing. You the one picked the curse. Because I told Moses, go down, tell them what they're going to choose to this day. So we chose to curses. We chose. He gave us an option. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull that precept real quick. Yeah. Deuteronomy 11 and 26. Watch this. Show you. We chose it, man. I'm going to start at Start at 26. Watch this. Deuteronomy 11 and 26. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. Right. He's Most High. He's talking to his children. Hey, look, I'm going to set a blessing like you talk to your children. Right? Hey, if y'all do good, I'm going to bless you with this. You do bad, I'm going to whoop you. Here's the Most High telling Israel, hey, I'm going to set a blessing before you. Right? And I set a curse. Watch this, 27. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God. Possessive. Your God. The Lord said, if you obey, I'm going to bless you. What do you mean by that, man? Think about it. Today, you will be walking by and everyone that see you on the street will be bowing before you like that. Bastard, how you doing? How you doing? Right? Be rich in the field. Right. Right? We wouldn't even known what it feels like to go through what we had to go through. Why? Because we chose a curse instead of a blessing. Let's finish it on now. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. 28. And a curse if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way, which I command you this day, to go after other gods, which ye have not known. How was a curse better than a blessing? Do we know the difference? I understand the difference between a blessing and a curse, but yet Israel chose a curse. And that's why we're going through what we're going through right now, because we refuse, stubborn, to come back to the Lord and come back to his commandments, man, and not be, and what we said earlier, that precept that came out about even the elect, because now we even got brothers that's been in this truth for so long now believing that the other nations can be saved. That's hard. That's real hard. That's hard. We don't name call, I ain't doing all that. But what I'm saying is, let's walk this thing out. Can you show me? I don't care if it's a gate they going through. I don't care where the Lord said, because that word Gentile, that means nation. So we already just showed you they weren't given the law, man. If they weren't given the law, how they going to know how to please the Most High, Cap? In order for you to please the Most High, you got to know this law, right? You mean to tell me if I don't have the law, I still can please him? Does it say that? Go ahead, man. Let me get this precept real quick since you brought it up. 2nd Ezra chapter 3 in verse number, I'm gonna start at 31. I'm gonna try to go real quick. It says 3 and 31, 2nd Ezra. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion? Or is there any other people that knoweth you besides Israel? Of what generation hath so believed your covenants as Jacob? And yet their reward appear not, and their labor hath no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon your commandments. Weigh you therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world. And so shall your name nowhere be found but in Israel. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in your sight?
or what people have so kept your commandments? You shall find that Israel by name hath kept your precepts, but not the heathen. You know what I mean?
They don't have it.
That's a mic drop, King.
That is.
Yeah. They ain't never did it. They can't do it. So they ain't got to keep their laws, but we do.
Yeah, and it don't make sense.
No.
Why did he punish us for not keeping them, but the other nations never got punished for not even being given to? I don't understand that, man.
Right.
But it's showing you that even in the last days, because brothers and sisters that's in the truth are losing their faith, and they starting to say, well, you know what? They can get it too, man. Even for me to get this promotion in my job, I got to speak highly favored of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they can get saved too. Thank you, brother. Like you doing the Lord a favor by trying to save them. If that's the case, Christ wouldn't be returning with blood on his vesture in Revelations 19, man.
Right.
Or
right.
Isaiah 63. He wouldn't be. Let me get that. Luke 12 and 51. Is it 50? I think it's 50. 51 or 50. Let me see, man. That just hit me real quick. Let me pull that out.
Yeah. No, 12 and you said Luke 12?
12, yeah, 12 and 50. 1, I think, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got it. Yeah. Come. 12, Luke 12 and 51. Suppose you that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. For
you see that?
Come.
Go see that? You see that? He came to bring division. Where the heck where's they getting this that he's coming with and all the nations? He's going to be a kumbaya. He's going to, like, this is not being preached or taught in church. They won't even read these precepts.
Come.
And this keep our people so trapped because they cannot whatsoever believe that the Most High hates. How can he hate if he created people? He got to love because he created all people, right? So he can't hate.
I don't love everything I create. I'm going to tell you that. Now, I ain't talking about my kids. I'm talking about if I do a drawing and, oh, man, I was willing, you know what I mean? I don't love that thing. I ball it up and throw it away.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The Most High, he only confessed to having or his sons to be Israel. Those are his sons, you know what I mean? Like as if they came out of his bowels, as if, you know what I mean? So of course he's gonna love what comes out of him, but he made everybody, but he only calls one group of people his sons.
So since y'all like to not understand the Most High, and that's where a lot of people get confused because they don't understand the bloodline. Every nation didn't come from Abraham. Ham, Noah, they didn't come from Abraham.
Right.
So stop. Now, number 2, let me show you what the Most High feel about the oppressor children. Let's get it from the word.
We just got a couple of more minutes, King. You got
a couple more minutes. Couple more. Job, watch this. Job 27 and 13. Right? On down to 4. Watch this, man. On down to 15. Job 27, 13 on down to 15. Because there's no gall. There's no contradictory. Let's read what the Most High. It's in the. We're gonna believe what Christ said, the whole Bible, right? Let's read.
This is the book of Job, chapter 27, verse 13. This is the portion of a wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty.
Okay, you're gonna see now. This is what they're gonna receive. It says shall receive of the Almighty. Go ahead.
And I just want to point out, he said the heritage of the oppressors. He's talking about the wicked man. This is what they're going to get. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword.
What was that?
If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword.
So you mean to tell me the children that comes from the oppressor is only made for the sword?
That's right.
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard that.
Shall not be satisfied with bread. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death.
Shall
and
what?
His widows shall not weep.
Did they say what they say? Buried in what?
Those that remain of him shall be buried in death.
My God. All praises to the Most High, man. Because it don't matter what man say. It's all about what pleases the Most High. All praises to the Most High for that thing, man.
Come. We about to go over our two-hour time mark, or is it? Or we good?
We got to go now.
Okay. Hey, it's been fun, Israel. All praise to the Most High that we was able to get on this thing and give a little bit of understanding of that movie. We are the Trees of Righteousness. I'm Captain Jehu.
I'm Chief Yamed.
Khan. And Shalom. We'll talk to you soon.
Shalom.
Hey, peace to everybody in the chat and everybody that will see this live later on. May the Most High be with the saints. You know, Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Khan.